This is probably my last stream at 2NL Zoom on PokerStars, my last episode of the Bankroll challenge, but don't worry, there will be other Bankroll challenges and there will be a lot of other exciting stuff coming. I'm going to talk about these things today, but for now, let's just concentrate on these hands. And also today I am going to break down everything that, like all my results that I have had so far, and we will see how I have done in this entire challenge. So here on the left, I called a bet with king high on the flop in position, but when he bet so big, definitely a fold. Here on the right, I c-bet because I wanted to clear out some hands to get some protection. He called and he now checked everything. I don't want to turn this into a bluff. I don't think I can get him to call with much weaker, so I am just going to check. He did have the ace, that's to be expected, and that's okay to lose to the ace in this spot, but at least I didn't waste more money there. If I had had a bluff, I could have tried to maybe get him off a hand like the one that I had, but it wasn't needed because I had showdown value. Right, here we are going to start with a small bet. We have the queen of spades, not that it's that useful, but at least we have a backdoor flush draw and we get the fold anyway. That is good news. So yeah, why am I leaving PokerStars? Well, the reason is actually a happy one for me, and that is because I am going to join another platform. Oh, sorry, I'm going to continue in a second. Just slow playing my ace 10 here, simply because I can't get several streets of value against a rather tight player. So starting with a check, but he didn't go for it anyway. Here on the left, I am going to c-bet my king with a weak kicker. Could go either way, but I'm okay with that. Getting raised is a bit concerning by someone who is that tight. I am going to call this one, but it's not ideal. It is not ideal because I would expect him to not do this with a bluff, but he checks, which is good news. And here on the right, I am just going for a range bet with my sevens. And on the left, we still only have a bluff catcher if he bets, but he checks, which is quite good news. Let's hope that he had a flush draw, and he actually did it with pocket sevens there. So our king is good. And on the right, I mean, all we beat is ace high, really, but I didn't really have time to concentrate too much on this hand, and so I just check behind. He did have a king there anyway, so that's all good. Here on the left, going to fold my ace 6 suited. Yeah, so why am I leaving PokerStars? Where am I going? What are my plans? So with PokerStars, I've never been affiliated or anything. I just use this because they have good games here, like good opportunities to play Zoom games all the time. But now I have had the opportunity to join forces with Card Player Magazine, which you might know. It's probably the #1 publication out there for poker. And here, sorry, let me just, I need to do a few things here. I'm going to fold because he only got 56 big blinds. This is not a great flop for me. Let's start with a check. This doesn't make it much better. Going to check again. And on this river, it's hard for me to bluff, but I will just hope that he doesn't have much. I mean, it's enough if he has an ace, and he now bets pot definitely going to fold. Yeah, so I've joined forces with Card Player magazine. Maybe you've even seen that I have made a few videos for them. If not, check them out on the YouTube channel Card Player. And I have also joined forces with Coin Poker, who are kind of affiliated with Card Player, and I will work with them, and that is where I'm also going. I am now a partner with them. I will do several pieces of content for them as well. And so this is all quite interesting. Okay, here on the left, now he donks pot. We have two overcards, and we have the gut shot. I mean, it could go either way, but because he bets pot, I'm okay to just fold this one. Yeah, so I am going to stream a few games from Coin Poker, so on their site, on my channel. I am going to do all sorts of things with them. There will be lots of giveaways, so there will be maybe play parties where we might even be able to play together, you and me, and there will be all sorts of giveaways and tickets and things like that. I don't know the exact extent of everything just yet, but we will see. Here on the left, I am going to go for a small denial bet after I cold called, which I normally don't do, but there was a fish in the big blind, so I was hoping that he would join the party, which is why I called normally a 2NL. I really don't have a cold calling range, and I probably, if I had concentrated and realized that I'm playing 2NL rather than something bigger, I would probably have folded or raised my pocket sixes there anyway. Right, here we have a not amazing ace on ace queen 3. I don't want to bet big, and this would be either a big bet or a check. That's why I prefer to check, and gonna check again. Let him bluff at it if he wants. If not, now I am going to overbet this one. He might call with a queen, pocket 7, something like that he doesn't believe me with, but he just folds. Okay, that's fine too. Right, so there's a lot of exciting stuff coming on Coin Poker. So I will do a new bankroll challenge there. I haven't quite decided yet what it will be. We will see about that, but it'll be something interesting for sure. Okay, here we have to call definitely with a gutter and the jack of clubs. And here we go. This is our straight, but we also have a straight flush draw. So I'm definitely going to bet this one. How big should I bet it? I'll make it 5.5. That's a bit more than half pot. We get snap called there. Definitely going for another bet. Don't want to go super big, but I'm definitely going fairly big, and unfortunately he finds a fold, so he might just have had the naked ace there. Right, so we will see what I will do in terms of content, where the journey will lead us, but I hope you'll still be here, because I think that it will be much more exciting than what I've been doing so far, because so far I've not been able to give away any tickets or anything. This has just been me playing some games, but in the future this will be much more interesting. And yeah, we'll see. So I'm definitely excited about that. I'm excited to partner up with them. This is what I really wanted to be going forward, to have a strong partner at my side. This will also help me with my other channel that you might know. And that's the Live Poker Guide. That one's a much bigger channel where I have a lot more views, a lot more videos, more professional content than the one here. But this one, I have a very small but very engaged fan base that I really enjoy. Okay, and here now on the left I have to think whether I want to call this. So I haven't filtered his range absolutely at all. So if he's betting here so big, I just think that he might not have anything or he has a lot. I'm gonna bluff catch here, but yeah, he did have the jack there. So probably at these stakes, it's, I don't know, it might be okay to fold, but in general, I didn't filter. When I don't filter someone's range at all post flop, and filtering means like when I bet post flop, then they will, and if they call, that means that I filtered the range, because they will not call with something, some complete nonsense. They will have at least some sort of a draw there or ace high. And if I don't do that at all, that means that they have a lot of hands in their range that they might not know what to do with, and they could turn into bluffs. So I think that was okay for me to call there with my ace high, but it was probably not super profitable, but I think it was okay. I don't think I really lost any EV, even though I did lose the hand. Yeah, so let me know if you have ever played on Coin Poker, because I haven't actually. So I have looked at their software, but I have never played on their site. So I'm very excited about that as well, because I heard that the games are softer there and they're definitely up and coming. So that is the one thing that I really look forward to with all that, so that is quite cool. Okay, here I'm doing something silly. I'm just gonna call. Normally I don't want to do that, but this guy just um, limped on the button, and with pocket deuces I don't really want to inflate the pot out of position, so I just completed the small blind, which is also something I will do very, very rarely, and not that much I can do at this point. Here we have ace 10 off. I think this is just a fold. I could consider calling, but again, with this rake, I don't want to do that. And I'm not really keen on 3-betting there. Okay, now my pocket deuces have to go once the limper starts betting. I mean, you might still have a lot of nonsense there, but then again, I have pocket deuces, so even if he does that with pocket fours or so, we are not in the greatest shape. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how the bankroll challenge will finish here. I had a sneak peek earlier before I fired up these tables, and I saw that we are doing okay. We're not amazing, but we are doing okay, and that's why I hope that we will finish it in positive territory. And with 3 bets like this one on the left here, I think that we are on a good path. On the right, I am going to c-bet this one big. I have a couple of backdoors and one overcard. Not amazing against a guy who doesn't seem to want to fold a lot, but he did fold this time, and that is all we want. Okay, Jack 10 suited. A lot of players say that that's their favorite hand. Not quite sure why. It does look pretty, but I think like King Queen looks prettier, or Pocket Ace is even prettier. Right, so this guy makes it 3x now, and again we have kind of a limper there, but for 3x I don't really want to do that, and now I've just taken too long. I don't want to 3-bet a marginal hand after I take too long. I don't want to give away sizing tells, and it's quite marginal, especially when he makes it 3x. So with all that on balance, I decided to just give up. Now is one where I could consider calling, but I don't want to do that. Consider calling again just because this guy is in the big blind and he is a bit of a weaker player. Well, it's okay. Now, on this board, I am going to c-bet, and I'm going to c-bet small. In GTO, you would c-bet big here, but I think that I can achieve more with a small bet. And now, is there merit in betting again? I think probably not. I mean, the jack is a better card for me. However, I don't need to turn this into a bluff. And even now, I mean, I could probably, or probably, not even probably, but maybe fold out 9s or 10s. But if he, on the off chance that he called with ace high or so, which is unlikely, but I don't think I can get him off a lot. But look what he called with king 8 suited with just a couple of backdoors there. Wow. That is really, really something I would not have expected. I mean, this guy called... Okay, here on the left we have to fold to the 3-bet. Called 3-bet out of position with king 8 suited in low jack. Yeah, it's very useful information to have. So yeah, that's why I didn't need to bluff there on the river. Okay, king queen off. It's a bit of a marginal one. To 3-bet against an early position raise. But I'm okay with that. Jack 9 is one that we can open. Yeah, so the other thing with coin poker is, and I'm still a bit in negotiations with them there, but I might just be doing longer live streams. So I don't know how often, how long they will be, but they might even be things like 4-hour long sessions where I might play 4 tables because I probably won't be able to play Zoom. So I will play regular tables and then I might do 4 of them. And yeah, that could be quite interesting to see how that goes on like longer sessions. So yeah, all of these things we will see in the future. I have not really figured out yet how that works, but it will happen, and that's really good. Right, so this guy now, c-bet's quite big here on the right. I'm going to 3-bet. Here I'm going to call, though it's probably a bit marginal, but he is a bit of a... Oh, this is the guy who called the... Okay, he now might want revenge. I'm definitely going to fold now. Pocket 10s, let's raise these. Getting called by the button. Oh, and there's a 10 there. Right, can we check raise this one? I think I'm just gonna c-bet. I could have even gotten a bit bigger. And unfortunately both of them fold, but I didn't want to trust in them bluffing. And I thought if they have something, they would call anyway. So, a shame, a wasted set, but I am not in the business of slow playing. I keep saying that. I sometimes if I have a marginal hand, I will slow play that one, but I wouldn't call that slow playing really. But if I have a monster, I want to get stacks in, which is admittedly very difficult at 2 cents here in Zoom, but we can still try, right? King Jack is a 3-bet in the small blind against the button, and here 7 high is a fold against the limper. Pocket 6s again, 5-4 suited, definitely a fold after someone raises, and again someone makes it 3 and I call here with 6s, and this time the flop is not very good for us. We don't even have the 6 of spades, and when he bets, we might well have the best hand, but there is nothing else to do than to fold in this spot. King 9 off, I'm going to fold. King Queen suited is obviously a raise. And here I am going to start with a check out of position, even though this is a range bet board. He doesn't oblige with a bet, so now I will do that, and he called very quickly there, so I'm just going to go for a 2/3 bet here. And now unfortunately he folds. Looks like he had hearts as well, because every other draw got in there, and he called so quickly there was either a draw or a pretty good pair, and he almost snap folded on the river. So if he had had a pretty good pair or a straight, then he would not have snap folded. Ace King, no action, as usual. Pocket Kings, well, this will be a non-action one, I can tell you. Yep, exactly. Pocket Kings, Pocket Aces, and Pocket Queens, and sometimes Ace King are usually non-action hands, sadly. But I think I'm not the only one. 10-9 suited in the hijack. I just don't want to open this hand. I will fold it. Okay, new chance with Pocket Queens now. Getting cold in one spot. There is the ace. Don't like this. Gonna start with a range check pretty much anyway. He bets pretty big now, and this is already quite marginal. I am going to call once. I don't think it's a mistake, but it is marginal. And if he puts any more money into this pot, which it does, bet pot, and I have to fold. This is not great either here on the right, but I am going to start with a small bet third pot because I can still get out quite a few hands. And now I'm just going to turn this one into a bluff. I don't like bluffing too much at these stakes, but I do want to bluff because I think a jack will give up. But look at this, he now just jams, and this is like really easy. They players at this level, that's why it's easy to play against them, because like I bluffed there. I would have bluffed the river, but he didn't give me an opportunity to bluff the river. He just jammed there, even though there wasn't too much in the pot. So, yeah, thank you for that. Here we have a squeeze from a fairly aggressive player. And here with my ace jack, I'm just going to fold. And can we do something here? I am going to go to 4-bet this one against the guy who is quite aggressive and is squeezed, but look at this, he now jams, so maybe he's not quite as aggressive as I thought, or he just had it this time. I will rarely 4-bet bluff at 2NL anyway, but this was the one time where I think it was okay, because we had an aggressive player who squeezed in the small blind, and after a squeeze I think it's always a bit easier to 4-bet, because a lot of players just try to squeeze because they think that's just good, even though they shouldn't squeeze too light, but they will still do it. Okay, these are two very light opens, and one went well, one not so. Okay, pocket nines, I am going to isolate this limper, and he folds. So yeah, I think my overall thoughts on 2NL, on the Bankroll challenge now that it's drawing to a close, is that I think in general I can probably play even tighter and bluff even less. I think this would be the way forward for me. And if I do a similar challenge on Coin Poker soon, I will do exactly that, because I think actually the money that I've lost here is mostly by bluffs gone wrong or just marginal hands that I played. I've already got rid of a lot of the marginal hands, but I still have a few that have snuck in there. Pocket aces, let's see, probably no action. And pocket queens, oh, we do get some action on both tables. Okay, that's interesting. So this guy is a short stack, and unfortunately he just folds. And here on the right, I am going to start with a pretty big bet, because if he has jacks, tens, or nines, then he could have called, but sadly, not the case. Here on the right, we could go either way, but he now donks, which is interesting. Donk small. I am definitely going to call with 2 overs and a backdoor flush draw. This is not very helpful what we have now. I am going to raise this one up now. And he calls. And now he bets small once again, probably to induce me, but I am going to overbet this one. And here, and he does call with a 7. Okay, wow, well, fair play to him. But that's why I'm saying it's just like, at these stakes, I should just be bluffing less. I just gave away all my profit now, and we're well into the red, which is not great. I mean, for today, not for the challenge, but for today. And that's just like going out with a bang. And that was my own stupidity in some ways. But on the other hand, I think that a raise there can be good. I kind of expected him to have either a 7 or like a low pocket pair that didn't connect with the board, and I thought that he might just fold any of that. Okay, Queen Jack off is not a hand I love to call with, but it's just about good enough. And look at this, we've got 2 pair, bottom 2 pair. We're losing to King 10 and to some other 2 pair combinations. And because this guy bets now, I am going to just call. I don't want to put a lot of money in there. Oh, and now this guy min clicks it. That's not good, but definitely have to call. And now it just checks through. And this is interesting. Can we block this one? We might be able to block this one. Here I'm going to check. He calls and we win. Yes, our block bet worked. So he bet what, probably with an ace, I would imagine. No, with Jack 10. Look at that. Okay, here I'm just going to fold. He bet with Jack 10. Turned it into a bluff. That, by the way, is a pretty bad bluff against 2 players on ace, queen, jack. Like, what are you gonna get to fold? Will a queen ever fold? Not really, because most of the time the queen will also have a king or a 10 or so, so they got additional equity there. And you just shouldn't bet that if you don't have a chance to get both players to fold. And yeah, I mean, if I have pocket 5s and the other player has pocket 7s, then yes, but then you have the best hand. So you're not gonna get any value. Ooh, this is interesting. We're getting min clicked here. This is usually one where I like to just 4-bet when they min click it. And what usually happens is that they fold, and this is what happened now as well. Yeah, so you're not going to get a better hand to fold, and you're not going to get a weaker hand to call when you bet ace jack on this board. Here, let's get a bit out of line with our king 8 suited. And we get it through. Yay. There's a raise to 4 big blinds under the gun. King 7 suited is one of those marginal hands in this position, and I should probably just fold it. This rake structure, but now we might be seeing a multi-way pot, which we are. Flop no good for us, no good at all. This is one I definitely have to check, and it's not getting any better. And he now bets 1.5x pot. Okay, that's me out. And look, we got aces again. And everyone folding again. We're getting a walk. Looks like it. Don't think that after all that tanking. Yep. That's it. Another walk with aces. Well, at least we're not losing. Okay, King Jack, I would have 3-bet, but not against the 3.5 open. And here, this is an interesting one. I am going to 4-bet this one, and then fold to a jam, probably. So a cold 4-bet, and look at that, he does jam there. And I just don't think he has enough weaker hands when he jams there. I mean, if this guy jams behind, then I'm definitely out. But even if not, like he got 3-bet, I cold 4-bet. Ooh, this is interesting here. We have a middle set. So when he 3-bets, I cold 4-bet. Oh, again, no action. And he now jams. Like, yes, you can have ace king there, but he doesn't normally have jacks. And if he has aces, kings, and ace king, I'm not looking that great, because even against ace king, I'm only flipping. And against aces and kings, I'm almost, I don't know, almost dead, but drawing quite thinly. And this guy is now really, really tanking. 10-7, we do have bottom pair. This is one where I can go for a bet, although normally this would be a big bet board, but there were hands that I could get value from. Now there aren't. Now there could be some again, because we have trips. So I am going to bet this one to make it something like 7.5. And if he has an ace, he will probably pay us off. Didn't want to go too big. Oh, look at this. He's now... Why is he raising? Check raising. Did he expect me to bluff this one? I mean, this size is also not great. I have to be good. I have to be good 25% of the time. Does he ever do this? I think he can still do this with 2-pair. So I'm gonna call, and he did it with absolutely nothing. Interesting. You do see players like that. Wow. Okay. Right. So this guy check raised as bluff on river. Good to know. Okay, and what's going on here? This guy is still tanking. I mean, I'm going to just fold my pocket queens and whatever. Pocket deuces are a fold. Pocket nines. Everyone folds. Pocket aces once again. Come on, let's get raised one time when we have aces. Just doesn't seem to happen. No, but two players call on a pretty awful board. I am going to c-bet this one because there are still enough worse hands that can call me. Here we go. Do I want to bet again? I think I don't have 3 streets of value here, so I'll just call. I'll just check, I mean. And he bets pretty like half pot. This is one where I will definitely just look him up. And look at this. He had the straight. Wow, that's something to luck into there. He had king 8 and then 7 and 6 came. Okay, fair enough. Okay, here on the right, I think I have gotten all the value that I could get because there is not much else that would call me that's weaker. He had a 5. I don't think, maybe he would have called another bet, but I don't think so. So I'm okay. Yep, so ace is cracked. The one time where we did get some action, they got cracked with a runner straight. But hey, that's okay. Here I'm going to check. Oh, look, we're getting spoiled aces again. Let's see if they hold this time. Probably everyone will fold again. Nope, there is a call. And now with the hearts, I don't love this. I am going to check once again. Here with the aces, going to c-bet big. And if they all check to me, now is the time to go. But I can't go too big because the board paired as well. Oh, look at this. Top boat. And this is a pretty good one. Going to go for the 3/4 here. Unfortunately, on the left, both players fold. Come on, have a 6, buddy. Don't know what he has, but he calls. The spade draw, not amazing, just because it kills the action. But if he has a 6 or so, I really want to get money out of him. So I'm going to go quite big here, 45 into 28. And he calls and pays us off with, what is it that he had? He had a 6. Wow, yes. He had a 6, but it's disappointing. Ooh, King Jack, I don't want to call this all in. It is disappointing that he never raised with a 6 there. That really, like, how can he not raise the turn with a 6 when the ace comes? There's a flush draw. That is really annoying. And speaking of annoying, this is really annoying now. What do we beat? We beat almost nothing for value. So I have to check this one because, I mean, ace jack would be the only one. But yeah, he had pocket 5s with a 5 of clubs. I mean, this run out, again, not good. Not good. Okay, this guy now donks pretty big on this board, which is kind of not great news, and the other player also calls. I mean, they're both not great players. Now them both checking is actually good news. I have to check behind. Don't want to bloat the pot with my king and okay kicker. And now this is really not great. Yes, it's only half pot, but it is over 10 big blinds. And what does he do this with? Does he ever do? I think he probably still overvalues too much stuff. So I think I still have to call, but it's a close one. But 25% I have to be good. I think I am good 25% of the time. And yes, I am, because that's exactly what I meant. He will overvalue hands like King X that are just weaker. And that's why King Jack is a call there. 5-6, now starting with a check here. 5-6 suited is my one hand, my one suited connector that I usually open from early position. We are getting bet definitely calling 10 pairs, which is kind of good news for us. It makes it less likely that he has a 10. He could, of course, still have 8s, 9s, something like that. I still think that, I mean, he is rather passive, which is not great, but, and I've lost the 5 as an out, so this is really just a bluff catcher now. I am gonna call, and on the ace of hearts, that really isn't a good one for me. Can I ever get him to fold anything? I don't think so, so I'm just gonna check and give up. And he had pocket nines, yeah. So that's the one hand that I expected him to have on the flop, but I didn't expect him to have it on the turn, because I didn't think that he would bet again with it. There was a little bit of a polarization mistake, although I did call with a weaker hand, but there aren't many weaker hands that I will call with. Maybe he thought I would call with a lot of hearts, and that then actually I could have bet the river big and he would have folded. But the thing was, I didn't expect him to have that, as I said. Okay, this guy limps. Let's just make it expensive with 5-6 suited. Great. And here we can just go big on the 8 high board. Not much going on in terms of backdoors, but we can get him to fold straight away, which does not happen. Here on the left, I am going to go with a small bet. Here now we have an open-ender, and I am therefore going to overbet this. The king is great for us, and also we have a flush draw, so going to overbet on the left as well. And when he calls, that is not good here on the right, I mean. And at this point, I have to give up, I believe. And here I also, wow, he had a flush there as well. Backed into that. And here I'm going to give up as well now. And he had, oh, he flopped the nuts. And again, he slow played the nuts. Well, if I had, that's the thing, like with slow playing, like this is, come on, I'm gonna show you something, because this is like really, this is exactly the thing with slow playing. So I mean, he made a loose call pre-flop, ace-4 off, whatever. He shouldn't make that. Then he flops the nuts. Then I bet the flop, and he just checks. And the thing is, okay, maybe you go for one street of value, sorry, for just one more street where I could bluff, but you're not gonna get a lot of money in the pot by doing that. Yes, I then overbet the turn, but that was because I had a lucky turn here in the king of diamonds. And then I understand you don't necessarily want to raise if you get face an overbet, but still I think he has to do that, because what happened now was, if the flush had come in, he would, I'm almost certain that he would have called a big bet on this river with his flopped straight. And then if it doesn't come, I just won't bet here again. I won't triple barrel this guy. So he will not get out a single penny out of me on the river if I don't hit a big hand. And if I hit a big hand and I'm ahead, I win, then he is going to pay me off. And that's why he should just fast play. And that's just what I keep saying to everyone all the time, also my private coaching students. Just go with your hand, just fast play. Don't be the guy who slow plays anything. But fair enough, I'm okay with that, because I still had a lot of equity on the turn when I overbet, and then on the river when I had ace high and he had the nuts. I just gave up. Okay, king queen off will be a 3-bet if the cutoff folds, which it does. Just checking my stats. I haven't 3-bet as much as I normally would. That's good to know. Also, it really helps to do that. Like, it definitely is good for my red line, for my green line. This is just so annoying. I'm just gonna 3-bet this one. It's queen 5 offsuit, I know, but he makes it 2 big blinds out of the small blind. Gonna go with a small bet, kind of like a protection bet, with my middle pair. He calls. This is not great. I am going to check a lot of hands now, including this one. And now this is also not amazing. And when he bets that, I am going to turn this one into a bluff, I think. I am going to go something like 55 and essentially telling him that I have the ace of hearts. And we get the fold. Yes, this was a spot where I liked my chances there, because this block bet basically means he has some either mediocre heart or beset or so that's not worth much, and he's basically hoping that I don't have a big heart, and I told him that I have a big heart. Not the kind of heart you would normally consider a big heart, but did have it here. Right, here, I think here there's nothing else to do than to call with this player in the hand as well, but sadly now we do not flop a set. But he makes it small, we are in position, definitely going to call this one. Now we have a gut shot. I don't think we need to reopen this. I'm okay with just checking, and here checking behind. If he has a hand like ace king, ace jack, we win, and if he has a better pair, then we probably can't get him off anyway, and he has ace jack, so that's all good. Right, we have picked up a little bit of steam over the past few minutes. We are even in positive territory, which is great. Queen 10, we're just getting all the money. Ooh, this one's interesting. So this guy doesn't open much, and he doesn't... he opens to 5.5 big blinds. I am going to 3-bet this and see what happens. And this is not great. I don't think there is a lot that we can get to fold, so I'm going to check this one. Now we have the king high flush draw, so I think now we can start putting pressure on him, going half pot, and he jams on us. Okay, so this is the problem when you have a great draw and you open up the action, but I really didn't expect him to jam on me here, but he did do it, and I don't think I'm ever good here. So wait, I probably have around 12 outs, so that's 25%, and I need to be good about 33%, so I'm not getting the odds, and I don't think that he has a bluff, so I have an easy fold. Had I just checked back there, I would have potentially won the hand, but I did not expect at all that he would do that play after he checked twice. But that's the thing, like with the slow playing, that's how you see the slow playing from the other side. It's when players, when they have a big hand, they just sandbag it for some reason. They just slow play it, and then they feel really great when they put in the sneaky raise at some point, which is kind of, well, I don't think it's a great play. Let's put it like this. Okay, come on. 6-3 suited, normally a fold, but this guy is very tight, 12-9 over 80, so I think that's kind of like free money to open any two in that spot. Right, we're getting 3-bet, and we are going to 3-bet in this one here. We are getting 3-bet by this guy who has not done much, but he's the 3-bet is just so small that I want to call. Ooh, this is a decent board here on the right. And now that he checks, I am going to check behind. And here I'm going to go with a tiny bet. This is the closest I come to slow playing. And I'm going to fold my ace high. Okay, now gonna go bigger. Now I do want to get some money from him. If he has a queen himself or pocket jacks, tens, or slow played aces or kings, now would be the time to get some money in there. But unfortunately he folds. At least I got the extra 3 big blinds there on the flop. Okay, we have 2 pair. Here we have nothing, but still gonna go big. Here I'm gonna go big as well with my 2 pair. Now I think I will have to give up here on the left. He checks. He might have a jack. He'll look me up too light, so I don't want to go. Yeah, he has a queen anyway. Okay, well, see, another one who played it really sneakily, and yes, I didn't have anything, so his best chance was to let me bluff, but, well, who knows, maybe if he had block bet that river, I would have had a more of an incentive to do that. Right, here, king 10 suited against a 3-bet, I have to fold. Unfortunately, this guy folded to my double barrel. Ace 9 suited and ace queen suited, both are hands that we hope to play. And here, just going to c-bet this one small. Ace queen just folds. The queen is good for me, so I am gonna double barrel this one now. If he had some other pocket pair, he might have folded. Now, I don't think that I have that much showdown equity with my 9, but also I don't think I can get him off a lot of stuff, so I will fold. And yeah, he had the 10 there. Pocket 7s. Another raise to 3x. And unfortunately there's a 3-bet. So we have an easy fold. Ace jack. Jack 8 suited, early position, definitely a fold. King 7 suited in GTO, you can sometimes open it under the gun. However, I choose not to at these stakes because of the rake structure. King 10 off, same thing. Normally you could 3-bet here, but against a 3x open, I just prefer to fold. Okay, gonna do a few more minutes here and then we'll look at our overall results. Okay, this is a good one to squeeze now. Can go 13.5. And when he makes it 30, that is quite a sign that he has aces or kings. Like, why wouldn't you jam if you have queens or ace king there? Like, why put in a third of your stack, or almost a third of your stack, just like that? So this is now one where I think I have an easy fold with ace king at these stakes. almost called there accidentally. Queen 9 suited. This is okay, thank you. This would have been a call, but just about, and I wouldn't have loved it, so it's just better. Someone 3-bets and I can get out easily. Okay, this is one where I will bet small. If he has a hand like King 10 and wants to fold it, then I'm very happy. Here, this is one where I'm opening 9-6 offsuit. Again, this guy stats are 15-6, so that's almost free money to open any two, which is what I did there. So yeah, these are kind of like the simplest exploits that you can make. They're not super profitable, but they do add a tiny bit to your win rate. King 6 suited, just gonna fold. Okay, let's make this the last orbit. And then we shall look at our overall results. Pocket 5s with this rake is a fold. Right, so let's see. First of all, let's do today's result. Today we lost a little in the end, so that's a bit annoying. We were quite high up, but then we lost not too much, but like what is that, 18 big blinds, yeah. Red line wasn't great. We had to fold a couple of times when we tried to bluff, but it's okay, it's not too bad. And let's see, since date, this is since the 1st of September when I started this challenge, and we have won 250 big blinds, 249. We've won $5. That's half of what I was hoping to make. And with the all in, the yellow line would be 721. The red line is also in positive territory, so it's okay in the end. So you see, I was quite break even for quite a long time. First of all, because I was running bad, and secondly, because I made a few mistakes and I didn't quite adjust properly to the right strategy. I did much better after that. So if we look from minus 400 big blinds to plus 250, so that's plus 650 big blinds in about not quite 3,000 hands. So I'm happy with that, finishing this challenge on a positive note. Thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me on my journey with coin poker in the future. Thank you, bye.